All right. We're just doing this live and completely raw dogging it. It's what I do a lot of times anyway. But I gotta get guys give me a sec. If everybody comes in or if anybody comes in. Trying to trying to figure out this place to start this. So give me just a sec. Because I was just listening to this on my cell phone, so I got to bring it back up on my actual uh, stream over here. Da, da, da. We're gonna give it a little bit. See if anybody shows. I think that's about where I need it to be. I think we're fixing to find out because good old Uncle Sniffy. Uh, oh boy, 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 he's telling some shit today, and I just couldn't stand it. I was gonna shoot another different video on it, and I couldn't take it. And I'll do this one live, and later on, if I want to clip a video and change something up, I'll do that. What's up, brother Chambered? How's it going? I think I got this video about where I need it. But yeah, good old Uncle Sniffy. The guy can't stop lying. I mean, every time his damn mouth moves, he's lying. But he tis getting on that last nerve. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll give it a minute, see how many people show up, and then we'll roll into it. Tactical Fud, what's up, my brother? Ron Gunn, what's happening, my brother? Hold on. Shut that down for a sec on the Rumble channel, so I'm not sitting here to listen to a damn big ass echo. Um, so anyway, I had to go ride, pick the kids up. And of course, always listening to stuff. Jeff Cron, what's up, brother? And Uncle Sniffy's speech popped up. Okay, well, what's Uncle Sniffy? Yeah, he's going to do some talking. I was just kind of listening to the background until I got to the part that I'm about to play. And then my mother-in-law saw the look on my face, and it was like, "What happened?" I said, I just got a bucket of stupid poured right over the top of me, and I can't get it off, like black spot, can't get it off. So that's where we're headed. Let me do the old-fashioned screen share here. And should be this one. Yep. Share it with audio. You guys let me know how the audio is on this. And I think right now he's been speaking for almost 19 minutes at this point, and I think this should be the point where he starts hitting on gun control. Oh boy, boy, boy. Hold on before I get too far. This will kind of be like a almost a share the pain stream. So I recommend just go ahead and take that thing off, put it at least a little ways out of arm's reach, because this one's going to get bumpy. It'd be funny if it wasn't so goddamn stupid. All right, let's get back over here. Where we can see Uncle Sniffy. And let's let this play.
Things done when you work together. Look, folks, we know pride also means feeling safe in your neighborhoods. The fact that we've made enormous progress preventing and reducing crime through the American Rescue Plan. We've made one of the biggest investments in local public safety ever, over $15 billion. And much of it's gone directly to you to hire for your departments. You've done a tremendous job. You really have. You've done a tremendous job
Sure.
putting these resources to work. You know how to do it.
The only
What
thing
about those
lowering crime
citizens?
right
The
now is
mayors ought to
everybody
do it.
going to
Get it
constitutional
done.
carry.
Hiring more officers for accountable community policing, investing in violence intervention programs, proven to reduce crime. With your support, I also signed the first gun safety law in 30 years. And the work that we did to implement it, to coordinate these efforts and create the first ever White House. What we did, my staff came along and said, we need a White House office dedicated.
In other words,
to
they just created more government
getting
jobs.
kids off the street and threatening and treating the trauma from gun violence, which there's a lot of trauma as a consequence. So we're deploying teams to meet with communities that have been victimized to make sure.
But Rod, what's up, brother?
Working. It's working because of you, the mayors. We got to do a lot more. Some of you may remember a woman named Dianne Feinstein and Joe Biden passed the first assault weapons ban back when I was in the Senate.
So he's a woman named Joe Biden.
And mass shootings actually went down. So I'm still committed to banning assault.
Okay, so let's clock that real fast because we've done shows on it before where the DOJ had to admit that the assault weapons ban had zero effect on either gun crime or mass shootings. None. Zero. Zilch. That's why they went ahead and let it sunset because it was so bad that they couldn't justify it. And they really couldn't wreck the president for letting it sunset.
Weapons and high capacity magazines. We've done it before and we can do it again. We have to pass universal background checks. It doesn't violate the Second Amendment for guns.
AKA gun registry.
Constitution at the University of Pennsylvania. Folks, the situation is simple. When
get ready for that bucket of stupid.
Guess what? You weren't allowed to have a cannon. No, I'm serious. Not a joke. You weren't allowed to have certain.
And listen, what kills me is listen to the morons laugh and clap when he says that. I can go find historical documents right now that will show you that Americans, even after the Second Amendment was ratified, even after everybody signed on to it, people own fully functional fucking warships, you fucking potato. They own cannons, they own swivel cannons, they own mortars, they own grenades, they own bombs. Private citizens. It wasn't just muskets.
Cheesecake?
It's all gone, baby. Ah, too bad. So sad. Find something else to snack on, babe. So yeah, people were, hey, go throw that in the trash. People were either as well armed as the government or better armed than the government at that time. Oh boy. Yeah, they had fully functional warships. They were the privateers. It was a private person with a fully functional warship, cannons, whole 9 yards, and the government contracted with them to go attack commerce of other countries. That's those weren't government warships. A lot of times, those were privateers, private citizens. Oh boy, yeah, this bucket of stupid just keeps getting deeper, guys. So hang on.
There were certain limitations of what you could have, and I love.
No, there wasn't.
My friends, and I come. The southern part of my state is very conservative. The Delmarva Peninsula. We talk at you like y'all talk sometimes. You know what I mean? But all kidding aside, it's just kind of amazing. They think that you could have anything. That never was the case.
Yes, it was.
Limitations on what you could purchase.
No, there wasn't.
So anyway, look, and I love people that say the blood of liberty. Or excuse me,
it's the tree of liberty, you babbling moron.
The tree of liberty is watered with the blood of patriots. Well, guess what, man? I didn't see a whole lot of patriots that are out
But I
there
was going to like,
walking
Dad, I was
around
going to
making
heat
sure
this
that
up
we
so I
have
could
these
get rich
weapons.
crackers in it.
Well, and if you really
You
want
don't
to
heat
worry
that
about
up,
the
baby.
government, you need an F-16. You don't need a AR-15.
It's
No, I'm serious.
stuck to the bottom.
Baby, it's like a dip. Go find you something to snack on.
Okay.
Quick. I need her out of here because I'm fixing to blow a fuse. He's talking about the Tree of Liberty, you brainless moron. He's talking about the people who fought and died for freedom, for liberty, against tyranny, aka your dumb ass and all those people that support you. So it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Um, there's massive documentation on it. Our founders were pretty damn prolific in their writings. Um, thought about or listening to the 10th Amendment Center today. If you're not following the 10th Amendment Center, you should, because they great information going over, Lysander Spooner and just a lot of the writings of our founders. Day before yesterday, there's a lot of stuff with Thomas Jefferson and a lot of stuff that he wrote, and it's beautiful. But they all were absolutely radical people. What's up, Jason Ewan? What's up, my brother? Much love. So now let me let this play some more. I'm gonna very much try not to blow a gasket. And I warned you guys at the start of this, just you don't have to unload your gun, just put it out of the way where you at least have to get a little effort to get to it. Because if you got a good draw stroke, you could, it wouldn't necessarily be a desk pop. It'd be more along the lines of an intentional killing of a computer, but just bear with me. Don't do that. And what do you got?
Mom.
What did you? My goober. He goes and hits everything on this tablet some days, and turns all the Wi-Fi off. My child. Here, kiddo. So, all right, let me let Uncle Sniffy keep playing here.
Think about it. I'm not joking, because that's one of the arguments made by right that we need to be able to protect ourselves against the government.
Yes.
Well, look.
Remember that Afghanistan place you pulled out of, you dummy, or Iraq,
Joe, here she said, Joe, hush up, boy.
Iran, Vietnam,
Across the country, violent crime and act rates are falling. Some cities it's going up, but overall, but not everywhere. Overall, we're they're falling, these rates, down nearly in every major category. Record declines in homicide. It matters. And sometime we've invested.
Okay. And I got to let this play, but I just, man, it's that's just all right. So if you track crime rates and the reduction in crime rates, why did you turn it off again, you goober? If you track the reduction in crime rates, what you will see is places that have went to constitutional carry and places that have seen a huge increase in permits. Well, guess what? That's where those drops in crime are at. Because an armed citizenry, not because the dumb BS these jokers are doing. If you want to see the rise in crime rates, see where they are still heavily restricting things like concealed carry permits and stuff like that. That's where you see these crime rates rise. In neighborhoods and areas that are heavily infested with drugs and gangs, that's where you always see a rise. So, yeah, Uncle Sniffy can, well,
in the last little bit, billions.
I'm trying a little bit to behave.
Expand care, boost coverage, and address the causes of addiction and mental health issues. We're expanding mobile crisis services and community clinics. We're helping schools hire 1,400 new counselors. Mental health care is health care. It's health care. It's no different if you broke your arm, if you need help. We have a moral obligation. have our folks back. And I want to thank you all. I really sincerely want to thank you all for what you're doing to support mental health all across the country. Now, the same is true for the fight to end homelessness and move people into supportive and
All
permanent
right,
housing.
so let's see.
We're your partner in this work. We got a lot more to do.
We might have to do a little skipping real quick.
Much left over. My dad used to say, Joey, you know, a job's about clear from the very beginning. The system is broken. My first day in office.
Because I'm not going to torture you with the rest of him going through and babbling on some other shit.
We need.
I just want to hit the gun stuff.
In fact, today,
let's see.
Check your account balance. You get a bill for $30. More. We have more work to do, but we're going to keep moving forward together, and God willing, as partners. Take student debt relief for public servants. You know I want to forgive all student debt, and the Supreme Court said no, I didn't have the authority to do that. Okay, but then I realized there's a public.
Trying to find it. Give me just a second.
Downtown, all these folks I met, the business leaders, a bike owner, a home shop owner, etc. To work out a deal with Saudi Arabia, wanting a normalized relation.
Let's see whether this is it. If not, I'll try to find. Not, I'll try to find it because he gets a question from a dude. Clapping steel.
The questions are over, Mr. President.
I want to see if I can hear this guy's question because I didn't hear
We're
the
going to
question.
first turn to Mayor Holt of the great city of Oklahoma City.
Thank you, Tom.
I want the record to show he didn't have to say 4 more years. He's a Republican.
Mr. President, I know I speak for this bipartisan room of mayors when I thank you for having us here today. Thank you for the very deep participation that your administration has had in our meeting these last 3 days.
Because he gets asked a question about gun control, it goes on for a little bit about it, and it's just more fucking stupidity. This is just this is going to be one of his standard campaign
I want to ask
speeches.
a quick question. You alluded to this a little bit. I think I can give you an opportunity to expand on it. Obviously, as mayors, we face countless challenges and opportunities, but it seems that at the end of the day,
What's up,
the
Brother
most
Night Strike?
important one is always public safety. Obviously, public safety and law enforcement is often thought to fall under the jurisdiction of local government, but we have long had a partnership with the federal government in that.
So I didn't catch that earlier. If this is the guy who answers the question where I heard the answer, this is supposed to be a Republican? Yeah, okay. I'll bite. What's up, General Sorrow? What's happening?
And I think we'd all just love to hear. Obviously, we're gratified, as you alluded to, that crime rates have fallen across the country this past year. But I think we'd all love to hear, what are your thoughts and plans moving forward for how the federal government can partner with cities to continue that momentum and to help us keep our communities safe?
Well, thank you, Mayor. Look, I spent
What's
a
up, Sister
significant
Vanessa?
portion of my career as chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Did almost all the crime legislation that exists. And
That explains a lot.
in the last administration, in 2020, for example, we had the largest increase in murders we ever had in all America. Not blaming on that president particularly, but
Could it be BLM riots?
we had a lot of crises going on. We had the beginning of the pandemic, which wasn't being acted on. We had a lot of people just very, very upset, worrying about where they were. Mental health was deteriorating. And so when I got elected, I acted to turn it around. And so have you. In 2023, violent crime came down significantly. It's one of the largest yearly declines of homicide.
Guess what's happened in the last couple of years?
American Rescue Plan, which was a
More
very,
concealed
very
carry,
big facility,
more constitutional carry,
It was one of the largest
more
investments in
permitless
public
carry.
safety ever. More police officers are put in the beat, invested in violent prevention, and it's because you did it and you had the money and you made the investment. And we signed the first meaningful bipartisan gun safety legislation. It still helped a lot.
That piece of legislation that's Safer Communities BS is a
you did a whole
absolute
lot, but mainly
fucking
brought
nightmare.
more police officers on and raise the standard, raise the standard expected of them. Anyway, but you know, it took executive action to keep illegal guns out of our cities, and that's what we're doing, and you're doing it as well. And I need look, more's needed. 100,000 more community police officers on the beat, I think, is what's needed
He
nationwide.
goes all tough guy. This dude asking me
And
questions in a
we have to
minute.
fund mental health counselors. You know, what we found is that if, in fact, you know where most law enforcement officers get killed? Responding to domestic violence. You know, we expect our cops to do everything. We expect them to be counselors. We expect them to be
Who are you
psychologists.
going to
We
send to
expect them
that
to be tough guys.
situation where some dude's beating the shit out
You
of his
know,
wife?
when you want to do, you want to have someone trying to stop someone from jumping off the top of the roof. You need somebody who has background and expertise. So we're hiring into this police departments people with different skills, not just being able to tote a gun and physically protect. And so I think that, you know, one of the reasons I appointed Vivek Murthy, Admiral Murthy, to become the solicitor, excuse me, become the guy in charge of the whole mental health piece of this operation, is because he understands it. And he talks all the time about what we can do to engage in providing for mental health facilities around your cities and communities, so people can have the help they need. And look, you know,
Yeah, 100%, General.
and look, I know it's
President
very
Dame Bramage.
controversial. I know it's a red hot button issue for a lot of Democrats and Republicans. I come from a state that back when I was a senator had I think it was the third highest gun ownership in America. And I don't know what it is now, but because of a lot of duck hunting and the Delmarva
Yeah,
Peninsula
because
and a lot of
because
those
the
reasons.
Second Amendment has everything to do with
And
duck hunting. You dumb shit. I read the Second Amendment one time. I think it said something about a well-regulated duck and goose hunter working with the deer hunter, and they didn't really like the squirrel hunters. It was something like that. Um, and you know, I'm pretty sure the founders, bulletproof vest and deer. I thought it was in there. Maybe it's in the mouse type at the very bottom of the Constitution that I just you got to get a magnifying glass out to see it, kind of like this dude does with his dick. Um,
and I know how I'm
okay, I
talking
said I was going to behave.
about banning assault
It
weapons.
may not last. What's
We
up,
need
Snake?
an AR-15 that can hold 100 rounds. Not a joke. I was campaigning when I was running.
Oh, here he goes.
Last time as a senator. And I was down in the Delmarva Peninsula, just on the Maryland border. And we're
Oh yeah, nice, right? They don't like us.
a lot of. And I'm walking through, and that's how, like you guys do, you campaign. You go where the people are. I go through, and so I'm walking through in a pair of high boots, and the guy says, "Biden, you SOB."
Here he goes with his tough guy
And he
act.
towards me, "You want to take my gun away?" And I said, "I don't want to take it." He was fishing. And I said, "I don't want to take your gun away."
Here we
I
go.
said, "You're able to have your gun." He said, "You want to take my AR-15?" I said, "You must be one hell of a lousy hunter." and he looked at me and said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You need an AR-15. It's basically a semi-automatic. In fact,
It's not basically a semi-automatic, you fucking potato. It is a semi-automatic rifle, which in most cases is way more useful than full autos because they're easier to control. But again, getting back to the Second Amendment, when you went back to the original part of your speech and said, "Oh, people couldn't own cannons when it was signed," yes, they could. You dumbass. Fully functional warships, cannons, mortars, explosive shells, private citizens owned all of that. And you clapping seals that support this guy who are too lazy to do very basic research into the history of armaments in the United States, you all deserve to just be slapped right in the fucking face because you support idiots like this. And then you sit here and clap during his speeches, and you don't realize you useful idiots, once they get rid of people like us, you'll be the next motherfuckers on the train. And then you'll be wondering, hey, yeah, I wish we could fight back. Fucking none. Yeah, I can't. It's just, hey, what can I say?
fire off 20, 30, 50, 60 rounds. I said, last time I checked, deer weren't wearing Kevlar vests. And we got in the, and then he calmed down, got in the conversation, started talking practically about
He
what
might
in
have
fact
Night Strike.
happens. What in fact happens. And, you know, the other thing is background checks. There's always been a requirement of background check.
No, there hasn't.
Remember
It
this
didn't start till the
kid
80s,
who
you
was
slap
able to go in
nuts.
there anyway, so I think we have to support community violence intervention programs as well. Many of you have those programs going in your cities and your communities, and you're seeing they work. You get people engaged and get them involved. And so there's a lot we can do. I think a lot more we can do. But two of the things are making sure there's background checks for people to purchase weapons. Number one. Number two, certain weapons you should
Yeah,
be able
you're
to
right.
purchase
Yeah,
because you never
definitely
know
need a
when you
pedo
might
check.
Go out and purchase a machine gun. I mean, anyway, there's certain basic principles that just make common sense. And I think, and again, you go back and look if you want. I'll send you a copy.
Just
of
see the
study
way
we
he
did
turns. He looks like a
after
broken Jim Henson
uh,
fucking Muppet.
the assault weapons ban lapsed because it only could last.
Yeah,
10 years.
Ron.
I couldn't.
It has gotten real old.
And it's interesting. The number of mass shootings dropped precipitously.
No, it
Dropped
didn't.
precipitously when we had that limitation. Doesn't solve every problem. It's one of the things we can do.
It doesn't solve a
But
single
anyway,
problem
There's a lot more to say. I'm
for
probably
us.
saying too much.
It might
Our
solve a
second and
problem
last
for the
question comes
government.
from Mayor Katie Rosenberg from the great city of Wausau, Wisconsin.
Thank you so much. This is an absolute honor. Thank you for hosting us. You have a wonderful staff.
That is so not the way I
Just about a
took
year
it,
ago,
man.
the vice president hosted a lead pipe summit here in Washington, and I attended that, and it was like shooting me out of a cannon. I ran home, and we.
I would so like to shoot her out of a cannon at this point. So, all right. So that's just his general stump speech from now on. Get used to it. That's going to be pretty much a weekly, daily thing for this dumbass to come to people and say, "Oh, you couldn't own a cannon during the time of the Second Amendment." Yeah, you could. It's historical record. It's very easily found. Just go onto the old Google machine. You can find it. It's very easy. You can actually find letters from our founders where they are writing about the Second Amendment and what they thought the Second Amendment meant, what they agreed to when they agreed to the Second Amendment, which was the government can't take weapons away from the people. Period. Whenever they tell you there was, it's not an unlimited right. Yeah, it is. You stupid bastards. It was always an unlimited right. Until, 1920s or so? See, this is why, and people don't catch this sometimes. This is why the federal government can't just write a bill and ban something. They have to base it on interstate commerce to get around all the restrictions on them. It's not just a simple case of we can ban this. Later on, Night Strike. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here in a minute. I'm going to let everybody go. I knew this was going to be a shorter one. And to be honest, I was just really too lazy to shoot a video on it and just wanted to go ahead and run it live. Because which even when I shoot a video, it's always unscripted. I may have some talking points that I got to cover, but it's always unscripted. I don't write down everything I'm going to say and then edit a video 9 times to, no, you get this raw dog. That's just the way I'm doing it. But yeah, this is going to be a stump speech. The no right is unlimited. Yes, they are unlimited. Matter of fact, when it says shall not be infringed, it says it's the right of the people. It defines who has the right, and it says shall not be infringed. Again, we've said it a billion times on the channel. Shall not is the strongest legal language you could possibly use in that document. And that is legal language. It is a legal document. So states agreed to that legal language. The meaning at the time. That's the way it went. And now they're running around just changing the meaning of words. They get a leftist Supreme Court, majority here and there through the decades, and it just becomes this incremental encroachment. I'm hoping, and we got to do them. I don't know when exactly I'll do them. We're going to listen to the oral arguments over the Chevron doctrine that just happened, day before last. And we're going to listen to those. And some of the justices are asking some really good questions. You can kind of tell where they're going to land. Other justices, well, you know exactly where they're going to land because they believe if there's any ambiguity in a law or there's any gray area, they believe the government always wins. And that's never the way this was supposed to work. So we're going to listen to those. It might be sometime this weekend. It just depends on how things go. So keep an eye out because I might just pop a stream up whenever I've got time. So if you pay attention to things kind of like I do, and this is going to be Biden's stump speech. I'm waiting for him to just go off the rails on it and just go, well, he went full on stupid today. What can I say? And again, there'll be this clapping seals back there. Oh yeah, you couldn't own everything. Yeah, you fucking could, you idiots. The ignorance of the American people amazes me. Especially in a time where we can find all of these answers. I don't have to go to the Library of Congress anymore physically to look up documents. I can look it up online. I can search it and I can find the documents that I want to look at. And I can read those documents. I can print those documents. But the American people have become so lazy in a lot of cases, they won't do very basic research. Well, I'll disagree with you some there, Snake. They knew that government was evil. Matter of fact, like part of the stuff 10th Amendment Center went over today, where the founders knew government was this evil thing. And they knew government would get out of whack. They just expected the American people to get up in arms and put them in check a fuckload sooner. They didn't, I don't think they planned on Americans becoming this intellectually lazy. I don't think they plan on that end of it. Not to the degree that it's happened. I mean, they always planned on a certain amount of the American people, a certain percentage, just being government bootlicking, tit sucking, whatevers. That's the reason they set up as a republic, so that those majorities, if they got that far, couldn't override the minorities' rights. But we're well beyond that. So we just have to see how things go. But get ready, because we're in that election cycle now. This is going to be a freaking, they're just going to pound this into the ground. I mean, I'll probably do a bunch more streams whenever Uncle Sniffy does this kind of stuff, just to call him out. But other than that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. A lot of Americans are busy working, real Americans. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of us that, yeah, we're busy working, supporting families, and we don't have time to pay attention to these dum-dums. And I lose time with my family because I am paying attention, so I can do shows like this, so I can point this stuff out, and kind of hopefully distill some stuff down. Mike McClune, what's up, my brother from up north? We just getting out of here though. And I'm gonna relax a little bit. 2 ADUs on tonight. Remember, as always on Fridays. What is it? Bacon. If you're into just straight out debauchery, Bacon will be streaming late tonight. You guys check them out. If you're not following the 10th Amendment Center, look the 10th Amendment Center up. I need to get better about linking all this down in descriptions, so people don't have to do a whole lot of searching. And I'll try to go back and do that when I can. But you guys, as always, stay cool. Keep that thing on you at all times. and realize your government hates you and they just want to control you. So everybody that's been in chat, Snake, General, Mike, hold on, let me go back through because Chamber was in here. Chamber was one of the first ones in. Run Gun, Vanessa Kitty, Jason Ewing, Live to Ride, Jeff Cron, Tactical Fud. Hopefully I'm hitting everybody. I love all you guys. You guys be cool, be safe. If it's cold up where you're at, or it's getting cold like it's going to do here again, leave some water running so pipes don't bust. But you guys take care. Love all you guys. You guys be cool. And we'll probably see a bunch of you guys in chats later on tonight. So later on, guys, you perps take it easy.